cyclists have insurance to cycle on the road?
Well, they use the road and we've got to pay for it.
Well, in a roundabout way, everybody pays for roads, don't they? It's just paid for out of tax money, and there's no avoiding that. Even if you're a child, you pay tax on your sweets that you shouldn't be eating. That goes towards the roads. Did you know that? What you may be thinking of with this particular argument is the road fund licence, which is a renaming of road tax because it sounds a little bit less oppressive, less draconian. But that's got nothing to do with insurance anyway. That's tax. And even if it did, how much damage do you think a road bike can cause to an actual road? Can it cause potholes? Can it cause the ground to sink? No.
They cause damage to your car when you ran them over.
Well, yes, they can. I'm with you on that. The only thing you can really do to avoid that is not to drive too close to them when you overtake them. And then there's less chance of them damaging your car. That's what I'd do.
Cyclists wear lycra, and that's annoying.
You can't argue with that. It is annoying. Lycra does look stupid. And sometimes it comes in very bright colours as well. But the very worst thing about this, and probably why so many complain, is that you can see them. And then you've got no excuse for knocking them over. That must really grind your gears.
Cyclists should use cycle lanes only, paid for by road fund licence.
Yes, I totally agree with that. If there's a cycle lane there and it's going the direction you want to go in, why don't you use it? The only thing is, of course, is that sometimes they're just completely useless and don't go in the direction that you want. And then what are you supposed to do? Stop? Camp out? I'm not really sure. They're also badly made, badly designed. Often you have to cross roads so you can get to the other side, which of course if you're already on the road, that isn't a problem. So in other words, you're putting yourself in even more danger than what you would have been otherwise. That might be why sometimes competent cyclists don't use them.
If cyclists had to pay to be on the road, I wouldn't be annoyed by them getting in my way.
I don't really believe this one, because everybody is impatient, whoever they are, wherever they're going, for whatever reason. They're impatient with everyone. That's just the way people are. Van drivers who are impatient, and they're not even driving their own vehicle. They're not paying for the fuel. They're not paying for any of the stuff. They're just being paid to do the job, yet they complain. We complain about learner drivers because they take too long on roundabouts and pulling out of junctions and all this kind of thing. Car drivers complain about HGV drivers for taking up too much space. And then we all should complain about minicab drivers because they're rubbish, aren't they? In conclusion, surely it would be a little unfair to start demanding money off of cyclists to use the roads when they can't really make them any worse. Their only real issue is that they're in the way a little bit. But then everything's in the way, isn't it? Why would we want to start incurring costs? Why would we want to start having other people have to pay for things? We all pay far too much for everything as it is. I've got to pay for this, so should you. It's not fair. Well, I want some too. Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's different though, isn't it? Cycles are different to cars and coaches and buses and lorries and minicabs. Simple as that. Why would we want to open up the floodgates for even more costs? What about people walking down the street? Perhaps they should be paying pedestrian insurance as well. Or does that sound like it's going a bit too far? Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Most cyclists are car drivers too, and already pay enough.
Yep, covered that just a minute ago, wasn't you listening?
Insurance would put people off cycling, and that can't be a good thing. There's an elm tree.
You're probably right there. It would put off most people from paying it. That's the main thing. Only those that do it every single day, commute to work on their cycle, would end up thinking, perhaps I should have this insurance there because one day I'm going to get stopped. Stopped by who though? They'd have to have some sort of new infrastructure, cycle police going on everywhere. That would cost loads and loads of money. So if you wanted to have insurance for this, and the cyclists weren't paying the insurance, it's okay, it's fine. We can find another way of paying for this from your road fund licence and by hiking up your car insurance.
Also, did you know that only law-abiding citizens would pay for their insurance on their bike? And they're not the ones that cause the problem, are they? Yes or no? I've just said that. Cyclists are actually doing the world a favour by not creating any pollution. Well, that is definitely true. You don't really cause emissions by cycling at all. Except that possibly you are giving off quite a bit more carbon dioxide than normal. But you know, we live in a world full of trees. And also your bike in itself has to be manufactured. Manufacturing, of course, is exceedingly costly on environmental issues. And then of course you're using up more energy, so you're going to eat more. And when Europe introduces the international banana embargo, you'll have to try and eat something less ecological. Eat more, poo more methane gas, and then of course you're going to stink. So wherever you're going to need a shower. Shower needs hot water, either by electricity or gas, whatever the case. If you arrive by car, you're not going to stink, and you're not going to need to have a shower any more than every couple of weeks. That particular argument does fall flat on its face, like Oliver Reed at a free drinks party. Cyclists provide a traffic calming solution to slow motorists down. Makes it safe for everybody. Do you know what? As stupid as that argument sounds, it's kind of correct. If the roads were full of cyclists, you'd struggle to get anywhere quickly, and you'd just accept it. You'd set off out knowing that you're going to be late, or you'd set off out not really anticipating getting anywhere. You just stop being angry about it after a while. Because what makes you angry is being able to go quickly in the first place, and then suddenly not being able to go quickly. The only reason we have insurance in the first place is because these people are lunatics. Look at this Fiat go. Way too fast. Picking our nose as well. That's not nice. Another interesting thing to consider here actually is that the bicycle has been around for over 200 years. The car hasn't. The bicycle was here long before. That is just a little bit like moving next door to an airport and then complaining about the planes, or moving next door to a school and then complaining about the children making a load of noise. If everybody got out of their cars and started cycling, the roads would look like this everywhere. Yes, no cars. Wouldn't that be wonderful? No bikes either, because people are lazy. I love cycling. Stinks of piss in here though.